Hi, I'm meteorologist Rich Marriott, and we're taking a look at more great summer weather headed for western Washington. A beautiful morning once again, looking out from our Bellingham Tower cam this morning. See nothing but blue sky and blue water out there. It's just been a gorgeous June so far, and it looks like we're going to finish the month in really good shape, but maybe a little too hot for people around western Washington, as we're going to see some places touching 90 this afternoon, which kind of pushes the scale for this part of the state. Take a look at the Columbia Tower cam, looking out there towards the kind of mystical looking with the haze out there. The foothills leading on out towards the Cascades are, and then see a nice view from our Tacoma Tower cam up towards Mount Rainier. As the mountains definitely beckoning you to come up and do some hiking and feel some cooler temperatures up there. Overnight lows this morning around Puget Sound. See places outside of the main urban areas got down to the upper 40s and low 50s, so a good opportunity to cool off the homes. Unfortunately, right within the main urban heat islands, temperatures stayed in the upper 50s and low 60s for their lows, and they were only at those temperatures for a few hours, so cooling the houses off a little bit harder when the overnight lows don't cool off quite enough, but we'll see those cooling off better as we head towards later on in the week. Take a look at our first alert 7-day forecast. You can see today should be our warmest day of the week around Puget Sound, roughly between about 80 and 90 degrees. Tomorrow will cool by a couple degrees, and then our ocean air conditioning really kicks in as we head towards Wednesday on through the 4th of July weekend, with the temperatures dropping back to the normal mid to upper 70s, maybe touching 80 in some of the warm spots down in the South Sound. But a pretty nice stretch of weather just in time for that 4th of July holiday. We take a look at the satellite image. This is the visible image zoomed in. You can see the low clouds. This is the marine deck sitting off the coast waiting to come inland, but our offshore winds really not present very much this morning, just enough to push it into a little bit into the Grays Harbor area and up the river valleys a ways, but not enough to push it up and start to moderate the temperatures around Puget Sound. Tomorrow morning it should make it up just to the extreme South Sound, with maybe a couple degrees of cooling for the interior tomorrow, but then by the time we hit Wednesday we'll see some patchy morning clouds as that marine air makes it inland, and that'll push us back to what our normal high temperatures are for this time of the year for most spots in the mid to upper 70s. Take a look at our first forecast. The Mariners back in town tonight out there at T-Mobile Park, and you can see the Royals are in town. Should be a beautiful evening out of the ballpark. Temperatures in the mid 70s for that first pitch at 6:40, probably staying in the 70s all the way to the end of the ball game. Take a look at our forecast for around various zones up there in the northern counties, Whatcom, Skagit counties. Low to mid 70s as you get out near the water, but warming up into the mid to upper 80s as you move away from the moderating influences, all the way up to the low 90s there at Marble Mountain, the foothills of the Cascades. There for Snohomish County, about the same pattern. You'll be comfortably warm out towards the water, but as you move inland, pushing back into the mid 80s there in Snohomish County. King County will push into the mid to upper 80s as you move farther away from the Sound, and even around the Sound, those high temperatures this afternoon into the mid 80s. Getting down to the South Sound, temperatures will be in the upper 80s to near 90 degrees as you have less influence from that cool water in Puget Sound. Down that I-5 corridor, down towards Portland, looking at highs getting into the low 90s. There will be over southwestern Washington, mostly in the upper 70s and low to some mid 80s, and then only in the 60s out there along the coastal beaches. Olympic Peninsula, we're going to be looking for right along the water, temperatures getting into the mid 60s with just a little bit of afternoon sun. Inland, you'll be looking for sunshine and temperatures getting to the upper 70s, even some upper 80s once again once you get into the foothills of the Olympics. And as you get over into eastern Washington, sunny and hot there with temperatures getting into the triple digits. And then of course the all-important 4th of July forecast. We're going to be looking for actually a pretty nice day, and the evening should be nice. Temperatures will peak out during the day mid 70s to low 80s, and it looks like for the fireworks themselves will probably be in the 60s. And overall today will be again the hottest day of the week in the 70s to the 80s to near 90 degrees, cooling a few degrees tomorrow. Then look for sunshine and mid to upper 70s for Wednesday all the way through the 4th of July weekend.